Hello and welcome to IT Bible. My name's Connor, and today we're going to learn how to install Pi-hole so that you can block ads on your network. Now, what Pi-hole is basically it's a DNS server that sits on your network that has a bunch of blacklists that it checks, and it takes those blacklists, and if your browser is trying to request a website with the blacklist in it, it would block that request. So effectively it blocks ads. Now there are some downsides to it, as in it can't block like YouTube ads because they use the same servers at YouTube for ads and content. So if you block one, you're going to block the other. So that's why you can't block the ads on YouTube. Okay, so let's head over to the server and we'll get started. Okay, so now that we know what Pi-hole is, let's go ahead and do the install. There's a few different ways you can install it. The first way is the easiest, and it's the way we're going to end up doing it, but there are 3 other ways to install it. You can clone their repository and run the install there. You can manually download the installer, which is kind of the same thing we're doing, except we're just going to do it all in one line of code. Or you can deploy it with a Docker image. I run Docker where I need to, but I try not to run everything as a Docker image. So let's go ahead and do the install. So we're going to do the one-step install, which if you're looking at the documentation, which will be linked down below, it will have these steps there. So let's go ahead and do curl lowercase s, uppercase SL, HTTPS. And I've actually looked at the script already to kind of go over it, so I'm comfortable with installing it. Install.py.net, which if you want to review the script, you can just go to that URL in your web browser and it'll bring up the whole bash file. We're just going to run it to bash. My assumption is we'll need to do sudo because you need to do sudo with all the other commands, so you have to run it as root. So let's go ahead and do that. It's going to go through the install or download of the file and start running it. So the installer will transfer your device into a network-wide ad blocker. We go ahead and say OK. File is free, but donate. If you feel like it, please donate. We always like donations at open source projects. Pi-hole as a server needs a static IP set, which if you watched my installing Ubuntu tutorial, you should be at this point anyways. I will link it up in the cards above. So we're going to hit continue because this is a static IP. And then it's going to ask you what you want your DNS provider to be. I generally use OpenDNS, so I'm just going to use OpenDNS here, but you can use whichever one you want. And then, do you want to allow the third-party lists? I do. Do you want to install the admin web interface? I do. Do you want to install a web server that's required? You can either install your own web server, or I'm just going to install the web server here. If you want to learn how to install a web server, there's another card. It'll teach you how to install Caddy, but for Caddy to work correctly, you need to have a public IP on it. So that way, or ports forwarded to it so that it can renew its certificates automatically. So we're just going to install the default web server with Pi-hole. So we're going to hit yes. Would you like to enable query logging? I'm going to say yes. And this is where it gets kind of interesting. So you can do multiple things here. With the privacy modes, you can either say 0, show everything. So this will say all statistics are available in the web interface. By the way, that's what we're going to do because I have a kid and I want to see what he's doing on the internet. Level 1, show and store will, it says hide domains here, so, but it will show and store all domains as hidden, disables top domains, disables top ads, so that way you can't see where your ads are coming from. Level 2, which includes everything above, so everything in level 1, plus it also disables top clients and top clients over time, so you can't see what clients are getting what ads. And then anonymous mode, level 3, same as the above, so the top, level 1 and level 2, but it also disables query log and long-term database logging. So again, since I have a child and I want to kind of pay attention to what he's doing and be able to block stuff that he's going to, I'm going to hit show everything here and hit continue. It's going to go through the rest of the install process. Okay, so it says configure your device to use Pi-hole, use this address here, which is my static. If you want to go to admin web interface, it's going to be there. So and then it tells you the login password. So we're going to hit OK. We can get all that information here in just a second, which you can see here. So I'm going to copy that from there. Before we get to the admin panel, I would like to ask you if you could please subscribe, click the subscribe button down below, and click that bell so you get notified next time I release a video. Now let's get back to the admin panel side of things. We're going to bring this over. And we're going to go to 192.168.1.2/admin. Then we're going to log in with that password. However, before we do that, I'm going to reset that password. So we're going to type Pi-hole -a-p and hit enter. And it's going to ask for a new password. I hit my new password. New password's been set. Make sure that we're still logged in here, and we are. So let's see. So by default, everything's blocking. The load is pretty normal. I've only got 1 gig on this machine with 1 core. So now we're going to go into my network settings, and we are going to hit on my adapter. We're going to hit properties. We're going to scroll down to IPv4 properties, and this is just temporary so we can test it. And I'm going to set my DNS server to 192.168.1.2. That way you can see data. Now that we got DNS set on my computer, we're going to go to a couple websites here just to let's go to, I don't know, actually, you know what'll have a good ads. Let's go to SourceForge. I don't know, I've never actually browsed SourceForge. Okay, so there are some ads still showing up, but that could be because of what's the word I'm looking for? That could be because that I haven't cleared my cache. So let's go to ipconfig flush DNS. You can see there's still some ads, which it'll probably, I mean, it will take a while to start pulling information. You can see it's already blocked 12. So there are stuff already getting blocked, but because of how caching works in Windows and the different browsers have caches now, it could take a bit to to start actually working. So let's see, let's go to domains. Let's go to query log. So you can see it's blocked. It's allowing Wayfair ads. It's blocking ad roll, LinkedIn ads, all kinds of stuff. And of course, as you know, this isn't a full solution. There are certain things that it can't block. So like YouTube, we can't get rid of those ads. But so I'm gonna make a couple groups here. I'm gonna say kids, and this will be kids devices where it's blocked. Adults, and then I'm gonna do TVs because I have all IPTVs and all my TV comes from, you know, Hulu, YouTube TV, that kind of stuff. So I want to be able to group all of that stuff together. But since I haven't yet enabled or set it on DHCP, nothing is going to show up except for my computer. So let's see, you can see that we got Stephen Black's ad list. We might go look for some others at some point. So let's see, let's clients. Let's add my computer. So you can see that it's my computer. There's desktop. And then you can assign it to different groups. So I want to be adults. So now my computer will, oops. I forgot to click apply. So now my computer will apply to whatever, you know, shows up for adults. So now we're gonna go to, I know this is not ideal, not an ideal situation, but I'm bringing up my network from my Google Fiber box. So here's the Google Fiber box. Now it gives us 3 options for DNS. We want to set 192.168.1.2, and we're going to get rid of everything else. And we're going to hit save. So now any new clients that reach out for DNS are going to go through our Pi-hole server. So you can see clients, and what I'm going to do is I will end up registering more clients and assigning them to the different groups, but it's, you know, it'll take some time for that list to propagate. So you can see 155,000 domains on ad lists. That's kind of crazy. 63. So I don't know, it's kind of cool. And then what you can do now that you have this doing your local DNS, you can add DNS records. So like if I want to do laptop.lab.192.168.1.15. So now theoretically, then let's do pi-hole.lab. So now theoretically all of this stuff will resolve to what it belongs to internally. So I don't think it will work for me right now, but we can try top lab dot 8006. Yeah, so it hasn't, I've been having issues with the internal resolution portion, but we will you know, I'll get there and hopefully it'll all start working. Thank you for watching. I hope that you learned something, and if you could, please scroll down and subscribe. If you have any questions, go ahead and comment down below, or you could also visit itbible.org. That's my website where I ask questions. I also post, different posts every week. Some stuff that might not make videos, some PowerShell stuff, simple, quick stuff like that. And I will see you on the next video.